Yeah. Now we're on fire.
All right. How are you, boys?
Great.
You got
How
a
are you?
voice like honey, man. I'm telling
Yeah.
you.
Honey Boo Boo.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. I didn't think I was going to get an erection this early on in the
Well,
Brother, I've been sipping all night, brother.
Yeah.
I got a fresh case of death.
Oh, nice. Nice. There it is.
Well, here's to you.
Oh, you're the best, buddy. What do you got in that cup?
Nothing right at the moment. Usually, it's always coffee.
Usually, it's always coffee.
Usually, it's always coffee. That doesn't make sense.
60% of the time, it's always coffee.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah. I like your math works out.
Yeah, dude. Real strong in math.
Yeah.
How the hell are you, man? Thank you so much for doing
I'm great,
this.
buddy. I can't thank you guys enough for having me, man. I'm happy to see you, and I'm happy to talk to you again.
Likewise.
Yes, sir. Well, this has nothing to do with on perks, which we will definitely get to. But we were just talking a little bit, not too long, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, about the like fast food fighters. Like it was basically the question was, which fast food
Now it's a video game in my head.
Which fast food chain do you think has the best fighters? And Jason's
right.
like, wait, save that question for Mike, because I think he has better insight than yeah. But I have a new contender. What do you think? Just first of all, what's your opinion?
All right, John, I would go with Popeyes #1.
That's where I was heading.
I would go KFC Taco Bell #2. Wendy's 3.
Oh fuck! You know what? Wendy's is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw one. It didn't go into a full-fledged fight, but justice was served anyway in a Wendy's one time. There was one across from a school I used to work at, and I went in there like 4 days a week to eat lunch. And this one day that I was in there, this lady was just being a real asshole to the cashier. The cashier was just trying to do her job. And like, fortunately, when the lady was being an asshole, all the other employees were backing her up. So I knew if it popped off, they would have just beat this lady senseless. It didn't come to that. And I've never seen justice served so swiftly, because as this lady's walking out talking shit, the door was right next to this floor to ceiling pane of glass. And she thought she was pushing on the door really hard to walk out, but she pushed real hard on this pane of glass and just bounced her face off.
She farleyed into the fucking pane of glass.
Dude, it was like she fucking who's the bird? Was it not Tweety Bird, but I don't know, Woody Woodpecker.
Woody Woodpecker. Yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah,
dude. It's moments like that. I'm not a religious person, but that makes me feel like there's a higher power when I see things like that.
See,
what?
I know the moment the tide turned on Wendy's, where Wendy's truly fell. It's when they lost that salad bar, man.
Oh, that's when
they stopped being uptown.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when Wendy's got dangerous.
That's when America fell. That's what happened.
You know what? I also wondered too, because I haven't gone very often, but I used to love Roy Rogers, and the only one that I know of now that's close by to me is on the New Jersey Turnpike.
Oh yeah.
And I'm on the fence right now, because I don't know whether those employees would beat the living piss out of other people, or if they're just totally docile because they're just alienated right there on the turnpike.
That's a good question.
See, I got a couple dark horses in here too. I'm not wondering where you're standing.
Well, back to Wendy's before you get. I went the last. There's a Wendy's that's near where I live, and the last time I went there, I went to the drive-through, and it looked like Con Air. It looked like prisoners had taken over, and they were doing like real 50s cornball shit, like listening to music, like shit prisoners really wouldn't do. But like there was like a dude roller skating in there. There was some
dancing a wham.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
It was just Ian Finance.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah. They were breaking out stogies. It was weird. And like nobody could get their shit together. I'm like, something's horribly wrong here. The next day on the news, I find out that there was a stabbing at Wendy's. That Wendy's, not between a customer and employee, but between two employees.
Yeah,
they got into a fight in the parking lot.
They had
from inside to outside.
They had the beat it knife fight where they tied their wrists together.
Yeah,
really dance fighting with switchblades.
Yeah, and
yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead, John.
No, I was hoping Dave Thomas, wherever he is, didn't see that. It would break his square heart. You know,
I've I don't know whether it's just around here in my neighborhood or what, but the fast food crews of the places that I go to in Philly are the nicest people in the world. I don't know that I can maintain that level of composure and that level of just cordiality, I guess. But the people at the McDonald's I go to, and today the Taco Bell that I went to, they're just so fucking over the top nice. And they're just everything's with a smile. There's never any bullshit. You ask for what you want. They're very polite about it, and they get it to you quick as can be.
The way the people, I mean, this automatic like treating them as second class citizens, that really that bums me out. But
yeah, it's not like they're fucking podcasters.
but what I do love about it though is like a good McDonald's fight online. You see it, and everybody bands together. Like
they do really come together.
And I'll say, women that work in McDonald's should be like a weight class in UFC, their own division.
The 150 to 570 weight class.
Yeah. But they have like hot food and hot fries and knives and all this shit, and they always go for a tray instead. You never see them like actually
prison rules, man.
I guess, man, but what a weapon though.
Dude.
Like somebody gets a hot fry, like a basket of hot fries in their face. It's fucking awesome, man.
I like an Arby's for that reason. Because every time I go to the Arby's close to where I live, it's like, welcome to Arby's. Why are you at Arby's?
Dude, that Arby's is my dark horse because I can't tell you the last time I've been to one, so I don't know what their evolution's been like, but Arby's has always been like you don't know if they're open, you don't know if they're closed.
Yeah, you don't know what they're selling.
Yeah, are you really here or is this place fucking haunted? Did you all die here at some point?
It's like Ghost Ship. It's just a fucking fast food restaurant.
Yeah,
I pulled up to the one at our place one time and I was like, waiting. It was like, oh, I'm sorry, we are not serving food right now. I was like, okay, it's 3 in the fucking afternoon. But I went with it because you don't want to try to make them.
You don't, dude. Butterly and I like had this disagreement this week about the way people act toward fast food employees. Like I brought up an instance that I saw at a place called Famous Dave's, which I think is a national chain. It's a barbecue chain. I was in there a few years ago, and it was crowded as shit. They were understaffed, and it was taking a long time for everybody, but they were just doing the best they can. And this fucking dork went up to the counter, was like yelling at the cashier, saying like, "It's been an hour. How am I supposed to feed my family?" And it's like, dude, like there's got to be something within you as a man, which that should hold back those words from ever coming out of your mouth.
For sure, yeah.
Like if it's not to your liking, just fucking go somewhere else. Find a different way to feed your fucking family. They will survive. Odds are they're morbidly obese, so they're gonna be okay. If going to fucking Famous Dave's has gotten to this point, but figure it the fuck out, man.
Yeah. Well, see, I have this thing too. I wonder if like the internet has made us, because of the speed of the internet and everything's like instant, that's affected everything else in life. Like the human error factor is taken out, the immediacy, like we want everything now, we want everything perfect. And if it's not that way, then we're slighted, Right.
Like porn.
No, porn will never do you wrong.
Never do yourself wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't like Honey Boo Boo porn.
That's criminal, brother.
Like you get like, I don't know, man.
I am not a part of this.
I
just met this motherfucker.
She's 18.
Jason, do you want to slide over to my screen?
I really more than I ever
point.
have. Like I wanted to for years, but right now, if I could cartoon my ass right over there, like
she's 18,
right, pull a real airplane move.
If you got a rolly chair, just come on over, brother.
Yeah, I'm stuck to the floor.
Nah, I'd rather read the fan fiction
because of all the porn.
It's a lot better.
I would, if I had to guess right now, I would say Honey Boo Boo is 22 years old.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So she's probably a grandma where she's from.
Good enough.
I saw her eat a cookie out of a trash can.
Like literally saw her?
Yeah, when Tim and I did the Tonight Show thing, she was a guest on that show, and they were just roaming around backstage like feral cats. Jesus and Honey Boo Boo ate a cookie out of the trash can.
Well, I mean,
Wow.
nobody's perfect, guys. Let's just take it easy for a minute. People just got to eat a cookie sometimes.
Well, our dad was at Famous Dave's earlier that day. This is another. I'm sorry, I keep going on about this fast food thing, but the one dark horse for me is well, there's two that are kind of tied: Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks. I'm starting to see Starbucks get really.
I did see a fight between two ladies at a Dunkin' Donuts. They were both working there on a Sunday morning. A fist fight.
Yeah,
I heard them when I was ordering, and when I came around to the window, they were still fighting, literally. And the one girl who was actually like working there's just profusely apologetic. But
yeah,
I didn't expect that at a Dunkin' Donuts.
Like Starbucks is the perfect place because they everybody. They expect to get you expect to get your name wrong.
Yeah, but they're vegans. They aren't real fights.
But you could just go way overboard with it. It's like I have a latte for cunt faggot, right? It's the cunt faggot that.
Yeah, Starbucks is going to be the one that I think rises through the ranks quicker than any other crew, because people, I don't know, I haven't been inside of a Starbucks in a while, but I used to go to one at the last job that I had. Before I would go into work, I would stop there. And it was the only Starbucks for miles, and they were always just overwhelmed. There was always maybe 5 people working. The vestibule was always full, and there were just tons of mobile orders coming in, people complaining, but it was just they're just doing the best that they fucking could.
Yeah.
And was this during the homeless Wi-Fi epidemic? Where they were having some.
No, it was more recent. It was more recent. So it was within the past year. So with them having to constantly take that shit, because like I think of the other ones like a fast food chain, like they're able to go zero to hood rat pretty quick. Whereas like Starbucks, there's like some degree of like civility that they try to maintain, but with like a fucking Wendys or McDonald's, they just don't give a fuck. But when Starbucks snaps, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, there's a mountain to fall down, and it's going to be painful for sure.
It's going to be a falling Starbucks.
I would like to see at least, if anything, that somebody gets slammed into that ice cream machine at McDonald's and it starts working.
Oh, that's a sore subject with me the last few days.
Wait a minute.
You can't get a goddamn milkshake at 3:00 in the afternoon at McDonald's anymore.
Well,
apparently I go to 3:00 in the afternoon, a lot of fast food places for me. So
how are you supposed to survive?
I don't know. How am I supposed to feed my non-existent family?
Mike, also, this is also off the subject of what
all the things we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, hit me with it. I thought of you. I saw a midget in the wild the other day, and it was almost like an MC Escher trick where the guy from a distance looked like normal height, and then the closer he got, it was like dwindling down. But he was like that's
a Roadrunner and Coyote trick, is what that is.
It was, but he was like a 50 strong man though at the same time.
Barrel chest.
Yeah, it was a good one. And
dude, they are essentially walking MC Escher drawings. It's like that's actually what the MC stands for. It's for a midget cartoonist. So you can check that out on the internet. I promise you that checks out.
Man was 3'6".
Well, nothing makes me happier than seeing a midget in the wild. It's
dude,
it's the best thing in the world, and I don't see how people don't walk away happy from that.
I hadn't seen one in the longest time, but then when I went to Las Vegas in October, they're all there.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're saving them up. It's like there was like a Y2K stockpiling of midgets, and Vegas was ready for whatever was going to happen, and it never happened, but they just hung on to them.
Did you ever see
had little bunkers out there? Just
dude, when you get the time, pull up the cops clip of the midget who's walking on his hands drunk as fuck in Las Vegas.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, dude, it's so fucking it's wild.
But to be fair, the fall isn't that bad.
I would feel so bad. I think, I don't know. I don't think you can arrest a midget. I think you could just put him in timeout.
Nah.
I arrested a midget one time.
Oh no, what did he do?
I begged. It was short felony. But he was actually a drug dealer. And I begged not to go on the raid. I was like, just don't send me inside. Let me be the outside guy. I'll do all your paperwork, whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the one for me. Like I know something's going to go bad. Sure enough, they put me right in front with the Ram at a hotel. And I go in, and like my boss, who was a big dumb idiot, runs right past him because he thinks he's a kid. And we knew this guy was going to be there. So all I'm thinking, I'm like the Terminator with like fucking Wee Man vision. Like that's all I'm looking for. I can't stop myself. I'm obsessed with it at this point. Like, this is going to be so bad. So I go to like yank the dude up and like give him cuffs, and cuff him or whatever.
Oh.
And I accidentally throw him. I'm not even joking. I accidentally throw this guy up in the air, and he like lands on the bed like a little kid and bounces up.
Yeah, accidentally did it.
Yeah,
you accidentally did raspberries on his belly too, didn't you?
Hey,
Creep.
He was adorable.
When he landed, did coins fall out?
No, you had to strike him on the head for that. Like one of my buddies, we were going to put him in a vehicle after that. And he was a black dude with dreads. So of course my buddy's like, man, I ain't seen you since you left Ghetto Boys. So the dude starts laughing and he's like, that's actually pretty good. And then he's like, I need some help getting in because he's handcuffed behind his back and it's a fucking truck. So instead of like maybe just like giving him an arm or whatever kind of guide him, my friend picks him up like a little kid, but he's like, put me down. Yeah, and I'll send you the picture.
That's adorable.
I still have the picture. It's on my laptop. I will email you the picture of him getting booked. I took through the window.
When they're like in jail waiting for to see a magistrate or something, are they allowed to talk to the other prisoners, or are they in timeout? They have to face them.
Well, his bond was lower, I can tell you that. Oh God, I'm going to hell for this, but it actually happened, and there's more to it, but I'm not telling that. It's just, it was bad. He was a nice guy. He wanted to sell a little cocaine,
Did they need protective custody, or are they in with the general population?
Most of the time, they do get general pop with a private room.
Yeah,
because that's a legitimate concern. With stuff like that, because they are easily taken advantage of in certain cases.
You said he sold cocaine?
Yeah, he sold a lot of cocaine. He was a good cocaine. Like, he wasn't violent. He was just good at selling cocaine.
What did they catch him with? A yellow brick?
That's how we found him. We just followed it.
It's a Dorothy special.
Yeah, one of the Lollipop Guild informed on him. He was fucked after that.
They're coming to take me away, huh?
Oh, I love it, dude. The best midget happening, I guess, that ever occurred to me was we were at this bar, and this midget shows up at a bar. He's of age or whatever, right? Which is funny to see.
Yeah,
when he hops up on
they age in regular human years, John.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think he was, it's something like hamster years or something. But but he jumped up on the bar. He sat down. What I didn't know though is this friend of mine, this chick that was with us, she has like a real phobia of midgets, like a severe phobia.
Oh, I get that.
And he automatically went to her, like he just was drawn to her, and he kept sitting beside her, right? So I was like, oh, this is the greatest night of my life. And then so I kept trying to pull him over, and I was trying to introduce her. She wouldn't like face him, right? And he was pretty heartbroken, but I just wanted to like pick him up and be like, come over here, sweetheart. Sit with Uncle John. You need to go pee. You need to go pee, honey.
Just let him play some games on your phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
You like SpongeBob? I bet you like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Is this the same bar where you got hit on by the gay Cyclops in the lounge suit?
Who can tell at this point?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
No,
that happened.
Yeah.
That was a good night.
That was just, yeah, probably. I don't know.
Jason, are you doing the do right there?
Yeah, I do have a little bit of do.
What kind of do you got?
Just regular old Mountain Dew. I don't usually do Mountain Dew much anymore. Occasionally when I'm having a drink or two.
Do you like Baja Blast?
I haven't had it in many years.
Yeah.
I liked it the last time I had it.
Yeah.
Regular Mountain Dew, I don't like anymore. They changed it. Something's off.
I haven't had it in a while.
When I was a kid, I would go to my grandma's house, and she would have like not even the refrigerator ones. She would have like cases of like Mountain Dew and Pepsi underneath this little sliding thing. And my little fat ass was like, I can't wait to get a fucking Mountain Dew. As soon as I got there, because she lived like a couple 100 miles away, we get there, I go straight for a Mountain Dew, and I'll never forget that honest taste of just a room temp Mountain Dew out of the can. Yeah. So good. And now it all tastes fake. It's just a lie.
Yeah, you know what, man? I think with soda, I don't think you can go wrong with the classics. Like every
Yeah.
now and again, like right now, I'm on a big Baja Blast kick. It's like I don't know. It feels like an affair. Like I got into it in October. It's still burning hot and long. But I think maybe by summertime, that might fizzle out. But I'm always a big Pepsi or Coke guy.
I tell you, Taco Bell is the gateway for Baja Blast, man.
It got me into it.
Yeah.
They still have the best Mountain Dew, period. That's the only place I'll get a Mountain Dew, like from a fast food joint, if it's not like in a container. Their Fountain Mountain Dew. Their Fountain Dew is it's top of the game.
Wow.
I mistakenly ordered a frozen Baja Blast when I first started drinking it in Florida, and I mistakenly ordered a frozen one, and that was even better than regular Baja Blast.
Oh, they had those like fruit. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The freezes or whatever.
Like an
It's
icy
like a Slurpee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't look like it would translate too well.
Oh, it does. Oh, what
It
is
was
that?
good, man.
It was good.
Yeah.
Is that some kind of race joke? Florida?
Well, maybe no,
Translate?
not yet. Not yet.
Oh, okay.
No, not yet.
Are you guys big Florida guys?
I guess I don't really. I'm either way. It's fine with me. I think that
I like its people just fine.
I have a lot of friends down there.
A lot of Jews.
Yeah. Well, they do control the media.
Yeah, and the weather. But
no. Yeah. It's fine.
great place to
it's
visit.
Oh, I love it, man.
Not so much to live, but yeah, I can see why people would retire down there for sure.
The Florida Project, the movie, that kind of bummed me out of not so much the news stories that go on about Florida, but that movie really bummed me out because of just thinking about the outskirts of like Disney World and like the people that live there and that sort of
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that sort of economy that goes
Do
on.
not try to ruin Disney for him. He's going
no,
back soon.
no. Disney's fine. It's the outside of that. It's like all these weird offshoot things that people try to.
But I
make money off of.
I do like. Well, Florida Project. That's one of my favorite movies, and I was kind
great.
of disappointed, dude. Did you know that they the lavender colored hotel, they painted that over, so now it's just fucking gray now.
Oh no.
Yeah, and they renamed it, and I forget what it's named something weird. It's like relative to the street that it's on, I believe, and it's gray now.
Oh shit.
And it took away all of its character. But
yeah, that was a big deal because it was it fit that motif of like just being slightly off of like center too,
yeah, and you could it fit perfect with the Florida Project because to people that are like in those kind of circumstances, like something that just is painted brightly could be confused for something that's beautiful,
yeah.
And I think that's a lot of like what the characters in that movie would, especially with the kids, it's like they didn't know any better. They just knew that they were having the times of their lives, and it wasn't until the end where like you could almost see like their childhood end, like when they catch up to the little girl in Disney World.
They weren't aware of like how much danger they were in every day either. Like they were doing things like they go to the house and all that with basically burn this place down. Spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen it, but they were doing things that were adventurous. Like I remember doing shit like that as a kid. Not
you
burning
burned down a lot of shit.
Not burning that house down, but other houses.
Yeah.
But like and just being out with your friends and stuff, and then like you're not aware of the world until it hits you, like those moments, like you said, when everything comes crashing down and she gets I don't want to
until you're in a sewer with your buddies and some dude chases you out and there's a dead body down there the next day.
Jason, have you not seen it yet?
I haven't seen all of it. I started watching it.
Dude, it's crushing, man.
Thankfully, I stopped. I'm not good with things where kids aren't in ideal positions.
But they're never really like, I don't know.
They're not really.
It's hard to describe it. So it's like they're not really victimized horrifically. Like they are in shit circumstances, but like John said, it's like they have no idea like how bad their circumstances are.
Yeah, and everybody like takes care of everybody.
Yeah, at the beginning I saw it, and some of that stuff hit a little too close to home for me.
Yeah, there was a lot,
and I was like, I'm not gonna finish it. Like I something happened, and I had to hit pause or whatever, and I never finished it. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna go back to that one. I'm a pussy about things like that, and admittedly so. There are just some things I don't.
Yeah,
I can't go forward with.
I get it.
Did you ever see the Flow Rida project?
No, I missed that one
That
too.
was good. That was a good one. It wasn't didn't have the emotional depth, but man, that music, not gonna deny that. Hit after hit. Speaking of hits, this right here. This is a book,
Oh,
See what you
baby.
did there.
and it's called On
Oh,
Percs.
you
And
little devil.
I know I was sneaky. I had it right there the whole
Mhm.
time.
I finally got back to listening to the audiobook this week.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool,
this
man.
is
Oh my God.
this is a multi-tiered experience here that you created. First of all, the book itself is amazing. I'm
Thank you,
not
sir.
saying that just because you're here and you're our friend and everything. It's honestly,
No, we've been blowing smoke up your butthole without any of your knowledge for since the day it got in our hot little hands.
but it's again super funny. But there's other, there's other layers to this as well. And then you have the audiobook, which is a whole other experience in itself, I think. Just you know, I know Ryan Foster has one joke that sticks out in my mind in this thing that's like just so everybody's so funny, man. Everybody's so good. And dude, yeah, I just you deserve a congratulations on what you've done, man. It's fantastic.
For real.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for saying that. Yeah, it's I had a lot of fun creating it. Getting everybody to sign on, like agree to do the fucking audiobook was one of my favorite aspects of everything, because I love all those guys, and everybody who took part is just somebody who I respect, admire, and love a lot. So it meant a lot to me that they were willing to do that. And there were other people that I definitely wanted to be a part of the audiobook, but it just time-wise it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
But so it would have been cool to have some other people involved too. But I love the way that turned out. It's been like it, of course, like naturally, I think like when you make anything, there are some things that you would change, but I think that's, nothing's ever like, and no project is ever really
Yeah.
complete. Like you would always go back and change a few things. And
That's one of the first things that they tell like every writer knows is that you never have a final draft. Like everything is you always find
but you
something,
have to step away.
but you have to step away, because if you don't, you'll never
produce
never
nothing.
stop. Yeah, or you'll change it. It'll just be dwindled down
And
to.
you are such a good dude. You're so funny, and everybody loves you so much. If this thing had been shitty, I think you would have still gotten the same number of people to step forward and do this for you. But the fact that it's really fucking good, and it's hilarious, and it's heartbreaking, and it's painful, and it takes you on this fucking crazy roller coaster.
I think,
and if you look at some of the subtext, it's like, God damn, what the fuck? It is a great read. And I would encourage anybody, if you read it, read it again. Go back and read it again. You will catch some shit.
Well, I kind of
the second time. I know I fucking did. It is fucking amazing.
I do disagree with you on one point. I think that again, you're right about that there would be the support there, but I think there's a lot of people that are catching on to this now, and like this thing's spreading more and more. And so I think you've got that fan base, but there's people that are.
Didn't you catch your mom reading it and laughing?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Oh man, it means a lot to me.
Yeah. One thing that really,
and she has next to no sense of humor.
one thing that when I was reading some of the posts and everything, it never really occurred, or I guess it didn't occur to me on this level, but when you see a post on Facebook from 2013, 2012, it's like frozen in time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see that person now. And a lot of times we assume that person is the same person that they are then, or were then. And
you're slightly different.
Well, I mean, everybody is. Everybody's different. And you see all the time these NFL quarterbacks when they go to the combine, and like something they did when they were 13 years old, they'll pull that out and like, oh, why did you say whatever? Something offensive, right?
Mr. Incognito.
But these things are frozen out there, and for that to be like something that I don't know if it was like painful, or I don't know what was the experience like going back and looking at that? When did that start?
It honestly, like it made me laugh more than anything else, just because like I'm not that anymore.
Right, for sure.
At the looking back, the first time I saw any of those things, I was more embarrassed than anything else. But I don't know. I guess I'm just a masochist. Like I wouldn't even think of deleting those. There were some things that I did delete, but just because I felt like they, served to cause more harm than good. If I were to put them out there now, so there were some things that I definitely did get rid of. But by and large, everything that's in there is just, it wasn't thought of twice to like put in there. Like there was a lot that got left out just because there were just so many fucking posts put in there that the book would have been like 500 pages if I left in everything.
Yeah.
And that's one of the great things about the audiobook is that I was able to include most of what I had originally written. Whereas, with the print copy, I wanted to keep it under 200 pages. And I think it's maybe like 160 or 170 something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was fine with that. But like looking back, there's not a lot that bothers me. Like some of the stuff that did get left out, like that kind of stuff like bothers me because I can tell, when I was getting low on pills or when, I was getting close to the end. And like for me, the end is a good turning point. So I don't view that in such a negative light. With other substances, like with painkillers, like I talked about it on a podcast the other day where the three things that I struggled with the most were painkillers, booze, and coke. And for me, if I had to rank those three in regards to the severity of like heartache that they cause me, I would put pills third out of those three.
Mm.
Just because, booze, I drank almost every day for so long. And with coke, it was just, it's all I thought about. Once I started, it's all that I fucking thought about. It's all I wanted to do. And there were so many like weird, bad situations that I put myself in and trying to get it all the time. And I ended up, for booze and coke, I ended up going to rehab while my wife was 7 months pregnant. So there's, that has more of an emotional toll on me than painkillers. Painkillers were just, the worst part about it was like, that was like the biggest wedge, one of the bigger wedges between like my wife and I. And I feel like we had a million other issues too, but that was just kind of like what really like pushed us apart. And, we had to get to that point in order to get to a point where we are now, where it's like, I have no reservations in saying my wife is my best friend.
Right.
Because, she drives me insane, but at the same time, there's nobody that I enjoy spending time with more than her. And, I'm waiting to hear the door open because she's at work. And then when I hear the door, it's just, I feel better like when I know that she's here. So
that's beautiful, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, finding that, the positive out of all that as well. Like you're good where you stand. I think is, that's important because I know that some people,
it's powerful.
It's very powerful. I just having people that were face addictions in my family. Like I have a lot of people that face addictions and
they're mostly dead now, so you don't have to worry about them.
But one of the things that they always said was like dealing with the things that you did, like facing some of the things you did can cause relapse and all these sort of things. And to be able to face that and have like a courage and actually like be able to laugh at it is super powerful. I mean, super powerful. And not only is it entertaining for us, but on the other side, it's gaining that power back over that. It's really.
And I get that, John. And I think like the biggest thing for me, and I think why it wasn't an issue and why I was able to look at it, almost from like an outsider's perspective, even though like I did live those experiences, but enough time had passed as to where I didn't have such an emotional connection to those events as I probably would have had maybe, 5 years ago. And, I had, I went so long without like engaging in those substances that like now the thought of like even like going back to that life is just so foreign. And it's just something that I just feel like is so beyond comprehension that, it doesn't really bother me. Now, with that said, like there are times where like I'll pass like a beer billboard and like my mouth will start watering.
Yeah.
But the difference between now and maybe, 5-6 years ago would be like I would do something about it then. Whereas now it's a fleeting experience.
Little Pavlovian, and then it's gone.
It is, yeah. That's exactly what it is. And now it's like now they make incredible non-alcoholic beers, like Heineken Zero taste.
I was going to ask you, how is that?
It's delicious.
Does it taste pretty much? I like a Heineken.
It's pretty close because I had O'Doul's a long time ago, and that just tastes like dog shit.
Yeah.
But with Heineken Zero, it's the closest to a real beer as I think you can get without having alcohol in it. So, there are times where like I'll have one or two of those, and they're just so filling that after a couple of them, I'm like, all right, I'm good. And there's never any like kind of urge to just push the limits and feel like, I wonder if it'll be different this time. Because I did go through a lot of that. Like there were years like when I first made an honest effort to try to give up like the harder stuff, which initially for me was just Coke and booze. It was just I would put together a few months and then I would go for like a bender for the ages. And in hindsight, that was still progress for me. But at the time I didn't view it as such. It was just like, oh fuck, this is me doing the same dumb shit again.
You just looked at it as failure.
It is, yeah. And I think that if anybody watching this is experiencing that, just try to reframe it because it's not failure. Because for me, I was in the habit of I don't know when I started drinking every day. It was probably late 90s, especially the early 2000s up until 2012. So there was, a 10 to 15 year stretch where I was just consuming some alcohol every day. And to go from consuming alcohol every day to maybe having a bender once every 3 or 4 months, that's a big deal. Like that is progress. And if like that's what you're experiencing right now, think of it that way, but just, don't let yourself off the hook easily, but just think that, all right, this is progress for me. And I just got to fucking, hang my hat on this for now and just see, all right, maybe next time I can push it a little bit further. And then you'll get to a point. Like I could have never envisioned a scenario where I am today, which is having, if I want something, I buy it. If I want to go somewhere, I go there. I don't need anybody for anything. It's just that I do what I want to do in life. Whereas back in that stage of my life, it was just constant. It was just constant dire consequences and just not having enough of anything and just feeling depressed and impoverished and just feeling fucked up all the time. Whereas I don't feel that now. Like there's naturally stresses now, but it's just like there's nothing that I come across now that I feel like I can't get past. Whereas, late 90s, early 2000s, I felt like everything that would come across, every obstacle I faced would be crushing.
Yeah, it was just like you were under siege, like constantly.
Constantly.
But maybe whatever. Maybe it is religious. Maybe it's whatever fate, whatever you want to call it. But the fact that you went through that probably prepared you to be successful. And some people you can't at an early age. Success at an early age, or when you're younger, can be crushing, and people don't know how to handle it, and they never, they're dealing with those things too on top of having to deal with maintaining whatever success they have as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you could look at it that way, that it prepared you for now, and what you're doing, this rise that you have now, this thing you've cultivated, you guys, that you cultivated what you're building now, which we'll get into that as well. Which, I've got a lot to say about that, but one of the things too is that the posts that these posts in here, most of the time they're very friendly. Like you're friendly, you're helpful, which shows how powerful a social media persona can be to people, where they don't see past that. They're like, everything's all well, and as long as it's happy on I don't know, it's kind of a crazy way to see that, like, you know what I mean, like,
there's a dichotomy. But one of the things that I found highly impressive about this and illustrative is that, from the beginning of the book, you make no bones about it, you were in massive physical pain. The Disney trip and everything you experienced through that, spinal pain is some of the worst pain you can experience as a human. That's why it's used in like fucking terrible torture techniques that are outlawed by the fucking Geneva Convention. And you getting through the shit you got through drugs or not, god damn, dude, that Disney trip, that hurt me to read it.
You ever see the Geneva Convention, by the way?
I did.
She's not as good as the Florida Project.
They both sound like two fat strippers in a black strip club.
Coming to the stage,
Yeah.
Geneva Convention. She is going to need a hand getting onto the stage. As a matter of fact, she is going to need a few hands getting onto the stage.
She has sparklers in her titties, and this is going to be something that you guys are going to remember whether you like it or not.
We got a NASCAR crew bolting down the pole up there.
Yeah, there was probably, I don't know, maybe a month period where I needed painkillers, like especially like right before and right after the surgery. It was just I had to lay down. Like anytime, like sitting up, it was just too much, too painful. And I can endure a lot, man. Like I've broken bones, I've fucked all kinds of shit up, and I can handle anything. But with this stuff, it was just an absurd amount of pain. And I couldn't, even though it was my disc and my back that were fucked up, my back never hurt. It was my leg just felt like it was on fire.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had to lay down. Even when I went to the doctor for the first time, all the seats in the waiting room were taken, and I had to lay in the hallway by the elevator just because I just could not sit. Even if they had a chair for me, I just could not sit. So there was a stretch where it's like I felt like I needed them, and I would have gone insane like if I didn't have them. But then after maybe like that month period, it was just, I just get addicted to things so easily. And it's just, there's so many different things where I can pinpoint that on. It's whether it's drugs, alcohol, fucking people, shows, experiences. Fucking Disney's one of them now. It's like, I cannot fucking wait to go back to Disney. It's after that disastrous trip in 2012, it's all I thought about for, I don't know how many years. It's all I thought about. And just every year we had to go back because I became obsessed with it.
Well, you have a unique appetite for life out of all the people I know.
I like the way you said that.
And I mean that in a sheerly complimentary way, because you have a love and appreciation for the human existence that has, helped alter my perspective on certain things. And knowing, people knowing now some of your personal history that you've been kind enough to let them see in this book. Mm-hmm. I mean, it really does help. I don't want to say embellish the legend, but it helps shore up the legend of Mike Rainey about, where this fucking phenom comes from. You're kind of like the Undertaker of podcasting now. People are like looking up to you. You're calling the shots in the fucking ring. Whenever you go on different shows, it's like, show the fucking respect. The champ's in the building.
I appreciate you, brother. I feel very lucky, man, for a lot of different reasons, because, I've put my body through the ringer. I put the people around me through the ringer, and this is all self-chosen. Like none of this nobody pushed anything on me ever. And I feel like being able to like endure all that and just being able to recognize how fucked up it was, but being lucky enough to come out on the other side of it, because I know a lot of people, if not most people, that go through these similar experiences, they're not that fortunate.
Yeah.
And I'm really lucky in a lot of different respects. I just feel lucky, whether it's, through addiction stuff, whether it's, getting a break here or there, getting a job when I needed it, or I just feel very lucky. And to be honest with you, man, it's like, I'm not naturally upbeat. I'm not naturally, a guy who's just always happy to be alive. Like my default is pretty dark. Like dark in the sense of not like I'm out causing harm to other people, but dark in the sense that like, there's a lot of times where I feel like if it ended, if I was told that this was all ending tomorrow, I would be cool with it. There's still that there, even though I have this deep appreciation for all these people, places, and things around me, and I'm so super grateful for what I have. Like my default is pretty dark, but at the same time, I know that I'm fortunate, and I know that I'm, I am grateful for all the things that I have. And it's just, I want to make the most of it, because now, especially as I'm getting older, I'm 44 now. And I feel like, if my family history is like any indication, like I probably have another good 35 years left if everything goes right. So time seems to be speeding up now, and I just want to make the most of it. And I just, especially now that I don't work full time anymore, which has been, even though I like the job that I had.
Congratulations. That was something we wanted to really
say,
that's great. And it couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
I appreciate that, brother. And even if the bottom fell out of everything I'm doing tomorrow, I'd be happy to go back to work. But I am enjoying the shit out of it right now. And one thing I'm realizing is, the next stage for me is to just kind of make up for all the time that I didn't waste, but just the time that I spent. I worked anytime that I had an opportunity to work, I would work. I worked every holiday, every extra shift that was available. I took just because I was always paranoid about not having enough. And so now that I'm home most days and I could kind of like fill my days with what I want, even though I'm busy doing like, podcast stuff or just fulfilling book orders or just so much stuff is related to that. I am constantly doing stuff. It feels nice to be able to dictate my own schedule. And now that I have more and more time to myself, I really want to create more fun for myself because I disregarded that for so long. For me, I equated fun with going out and getting fucked up, whereas it wasn't fun. Like I was just trying to self-medicate for how fucked up I was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I almost have to learn how to have fun. Like right now, I'm scheduling things that I want to do for fun just because I don't know how to naturally relax. Like when we finish tonight and I sit in this room, I won't know what to do with myself. Like I have to pick up something to do it because I just don't know how to chill. Like I'm not a person that could put on a TV series and watch it to completion just because I don't have that thing in me anymore, which allows me to relax. So I almost have to like pencil it in like it's a task. So, that's the next part, that next phase of what I'm doing is kind of like teaching myself how to fucking unwind and how to fucking relax and really just get lost in enjoying things.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Has a lot of that come from you and you've kind of talked about it before, especially on Dad Meat, kind of slowly, almost begrudgingly giving yourself permission to like yourself, even needing to like yourself more?
Yeah,
because
dude,
it's just better for everybody, including you.
Yeah, and that's taken a long time. And I think the time period from, I would say, like 2017 to like now, like that was one of the things that, like, one of the biggest realizations I had is like I realized that at the root of all my self-destructive issues were that I had low self-esteem and I just didn't like myself. And it's really taken a lot of work to get to a point to feel like, all right, if I get something good, I deserve it.
Yeah.
Whether or not I did anything to deserve it, I'm a person who everybody deserves good things. I think everybody should have good things come to them. I want good things to happen to everybody. One, because, it's the right thing to do, but also if good shit's happening, if the both of you hit the lottery, that's going to have a collateral effect. You're going to take care of the people around you. When they're taken care of, they're going to take care of the people around them. And it's like the more that people have the things that they want and that they need, the less people are going to go out of their way to fuck other people over and to do evil shit. So, I just, I want the best for everybody, and I hope everybody gets, all the shit that they deserve because, whether or not people think that they deserve it, you do fucking deserve it. And you almost have to trick yourself into believing that if you don't.
Well, I saw your tweet earlier about the Chrysler, and
That was fucking awesome.
yeah,
Dude.
I think that's maybe a sign for sure. It's
I think that was a looper moment. Actually, I think you are black in the future.
Yeah,
it was fucking nuts. Like I was just going to Taco Bell, and the Taco Bell I go to is at this like crazy intersection, and I was about to pull into the lot, and I saw this older black dude just standing against the back of his car. And as I was about to pull in, I just asked, "Do you need help?" And he just shook his head, yes. So I parked inside the Taco Bell lot, and I walked over and I asked him what was wrong with the car. He's like, "I don't know, it just turned off." And I was like, "All right, well, I'll push it into one of these lots for you. So just wait till traffic slows down a little bit." And then while we were waiting for traffic to slow down, I introduced myself. I said, "My name's Mike." And he's like, "Me too." And he points to this pendant on his neck that says Mike. And I was like, "Oh, that's really funny." And I looked down at the car and I realized it's a Chrysler 300, which was the car that I had repoed that I'm working toward getting back now. And dude, this shit gets even crazier. It's like a second later, like a cop pulls up and he asks what the deal is. And the other Mike explains what's going on. The cop's like, "All right, well, let me see because he told him the car battery probably died. So the cop's like, "Well, let me just get a jump box and I'll have somebody bring it by." So the cop parked behind us and he gets out and, I introduced myself to him. He's like, "Well, I'm Mike too."
Oh shit,
Dude, it was so funny. And then the guy whose car broke down, he leans up against the car.
Black Mike.
It was Black Mike. Dude, the car was still in drive. So the
Holy
car was
shit.
in drive. So as he's leaning up against it, I see it like start inching toward the intersection.
Holy shit.
So before it gained a significant amount of momentum, I was able to open the door, jump in, and put it in park. And then before he had called AAA before any of us got there, and before the guy with the jump box could get there, they just asked him to try it again, and it turned right on, and he was able to drive away. But it was such an insane experience that it was a guy named Mike with a Chrysler 300,
Wow.
that I just happened to stop and check in with.
Dude.
Yeah, and I believe that shit, man.
There are no accidents.
And I think like
Learned that from Kung Fu Panda.
You know what that eating dumplings.
Yeah, well, no, I didn't learn that from I learned that from my grandma.
Well, the M Night Shyamalan. Let's look at the M stands for Mike.
no.
Twist.
I can't back that up. But yeah, I mean, life. It does.
You almost went into Jeff Goldblum there for a second. Life finds a way.
Oh, dude, the best part of all this was after all that got settled, I got my Taco Bell, and the guy gave me a free Baja Blast.
Sweet.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he was a real sweetheart.
It's a good day. It's a good day.
Yeah,
good day for
everything's
everybody.
coming up rainy today.
Yeah. Well, speaking of coming up rainy, you guys have been on a tear on both Dad Meat and Lil Stinkers. What you guys have cultivated again is just amazing.
And also maybe the most legendary Legion of Skanks episode ever.
Yeah, that's
you and Tim
Soder
are
was so
the
funny.
reason.
Well, I can't take any credit. That was all Tim and Soder, man. Like they're the funniest guys on the planet, and it was just, you fucking wind them up and they just fucking take off, and they fucking nailed it.
That
I've shown maybe everybody I know who has any semblance of a sense of humor that entire thing.
Yeah, it's
it's
legendary
fucking
episode.
amazing.
It's for sure.
I think your face when all that was going down, like you sold the entire thing. You were the audience at that point, dude. I was fucking dying. I've died every time I watched it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that was happening, man. And fucking Tim's the one that set the wheels in motion, and Soder is just the most fucking talented dude in the world, man.
Yeah, I'd like that he did that on a walk. He took his dog
With
for a
dog,
walk,
yeah.
and that's when he made that call. That's hilarious.
Dude, I want to give him a shout out real quick because he's somebody who's just so overwhelmingly kind to just anybody that he comes in contact with.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's one of the cases where it's like, if, he's somebody that, I looked up to just because of somebody who I found very funny and who's successful and who, has done comedy for a very long time and has, found his spot in the world. And to be able to like have him like just go out of his way to be kind and offer opportunities and just be cool has really meant a lot. And he does that for a lot of people, man.
He's just he is so talented, but he is just like a normal, like so easy to hang out with. And
yeah, we were fortunate enough a couple months back to get to hang out with him, some in the green room.
Him and Andy
Fiore, who just another amazing human being.
I haven't met him yet, but I've talked to him on Twitter, and he's somebody who I like a lot. And at some point, like I am going to go on his show and do that, and I look forward to that.
Oh, man. That's going to be a natural fit.
Yeah, I can't
for sure.
Man.
Yeah, he's the best. He's super nice and super funny as well. Like both great comics
and crazy talented.
Soder, I wish Soder would work on some of his impressions. Like I just
he's not a great impression.
That part of him is that's another guy I'm eager to see what he does now. With the bonfire, leaving the bonfire and everything. But that's
Well, I know he created a show with. Do you know Dan St. Germain?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we know Dan.
So fucking funny, dude. I don't know if you ever seen this sketch, but I think if I had to rank sketches that I've seen that crack me up the most, his sketch, The Fluffer, might be the funniest sketch I've ever seen. It's probably from maybe 2010-ish, maybe.
I think it's still up on his YouTube channel.
Oh, dude, it's so fucking funny, man. but they created something together, and I think they also made it with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, it's an animated series.
Dude, we're so looking forward to that.
Yeah,
we
so
had Dan
hopefully
on a while back, and he was great, man. He's just a fucking, he's just a force, man. Love those guys. But yeah, like you guys,
you're the belle of the ball when it comes to podcast guests. Like everybody wants you guys on. You know, they want Rainey to come in and liven up the show, because you're always something. You're always going to bring something that no one can see coming.
And I think you could tell the energy in that studio now is like, it's just, electric, man. Everybody seems to be like trying to up the game every week, and it's
and everybody's really having fun.
All the shows out there, and it's it's great, man.
Yeah, man, I really, I feel very fortunate, and Dad Meat's been a ton of fun for a lot of years now, and Little Stinkers, I feel like we're really fucking carrying on like gypsies, man. But there's some new things we're going to be adding to Little Stinkers soon that I think people are really going to like, and that's my baby. Like, that was something that I wanted to do for a long time, and it's I feel like I want to do so much more for that, and I'm going to do so much more for that. So like I'm just so fucking excited to be able to like tap more into that kind of stuff and to more of those ideas that I had lined up.
But it's a real pie in the face to other podcasts. I'm telling you, it's
yeah,
dude.
One of the things that it'll probably come out tomorrow, which will be Saturday, the fucking 25th. We recorded a watch along for the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And dude, DelCollo blew me the fuck away, because normally he's just very chill. He knows, he's always got something funny to say, but he was so sharp and on point for this movie because it's one of his favorite movies, and he knows everything there is to possibly know about this fucking movie.
Wow.
He just the entire time the movie was on, he's pointing out things that are happening, pointing out subtext, pointing out little known facts about it. And I was at one point, I was just like sitting and watching him, because I felt like an audience member watching him carry on about this movie, and he was just fucking lights out, man. So I can't wait for people to see that.
I have never seen that movie. I own it. I've owned it for a couple of years. I'm gonna watch it.
Flo Rida is great in it.
Yeah.
No, it's I am a hardcore Tarantino fan, and the classics are hard for me to outrank, but I would put that maybe one or two in his best movies.
I'm with you.
When we were all in Indiana, DelCollo and I got to talking about Tarantino, and I think you were there for most of it too. And like that guy is fucking dialed the fuck in on his movie knowledge, and he is very impressive.
Well,
very impressive.
I would say this movie is unlike his other movies in the fact that I don't want to.
Well, as long as Sam Jackson and John Travolta are in it, I'm down. I'm 100%.
Sam Jackson is
I'm gonna
the narrator in it. Yeah.
Oh,
I think maybe.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it was part.
Although it was inappropriate, like toward the end with the Tate murders, where you said yes, they deserve to die, and that was just overkill, man. That didn't need to happen.
Yeah, it was pretty. Like he just pops in there too. He wasn't in anywhere, and he just walks in, and and
then Matt McConaughey says, "Now imagine they're white."
He's mixing every movie.
Yeah,
but Jason, watch it when you get a chance, man, because it's simultaneously very Tarantino, but also very different until the end. At the end is just he fucking hits the gas on the Tarantino.
But I have a theory about that, which I don't want to tell you since you haven't seen it, but I have a theory about the ending myself.
Well, the only reason I haven't watched it is
casting as well.
Yeah, one of my buddies has been begging me, and I haven't done it out of spite. That's 100% it.
John, I want to hear this. Can you text me what your theory is?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say this: this isn't a spoiler, but the fact that he cast a lot of major stars' children, I think was intentional. That had to do with a thing with next generation Hollywood, and that's part of my theory as well.
Okay, I'm interested to hear this.
Yeah. But I may be way off too. I mean, I don't know. Whatever, it's still great regardless. Just to see Brad Pitt and DiCaprio on screen together, it's like That's the best.
Shouldn't happen, right? That's
No, it
that's
should have.
that's Redford and Newman right there. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
It's a classic pairing that should have been. It's like a throwback to something that's, long gone, but it's right there in front of you.
But I'm glad it took so long for it to happen, because that was clearly like the right movie for them to do together, because they're just perfect in it. And, they just pull off being buddies so well, probably better than any other on-screen duo ever had. Like, I can't think of a better on-screen friendship.
No, and I think the aged Brad Pitt was probably right too, because he been there. Like the character, it fits with the character and everything.
Cliff, is that his name?
Cliff Booth, yeah, and Rick Dalton.
I saw one clip of it, and I haven't let myself watch anything else. But
is it the one where they get the shotguns and they walk in and the big Kahuna burger?
That is no. This would be a Brad Pitt clip.
Oh, okay. That's Pulp Fiction, the other one. So
yeah, this is they should have had shotguns for that job, but they didn't.
Yeah.
He picked up some girl on the side of the road, and she tried to blow him when she was clearly underage or whatever.
Right.
And he tactfully told her to get the fuck out of the car. It's pretty awesome.
Well, that is Margaret Qualley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Andy McDowell's daughter.
That's Andy McDowell's daughter, right? And she's also something else in the movie as well. But
okay,
dude,
you'll see.
It's funny you bring that up, because my feeling was like that was something that that was one of the few moments in the movie where I was just like, because my feeling is like that line was put in there just because Tarantino's buddy Harvey Weinstein was in the thick of getting accused of all the heinous shit he did. And I don't know that a man in 1969 who picked up a hitchhiker would ever ask that question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought it was just to show off that cars used to be a lot better for blowjobs. I mean, just the space, that's real American engineering.
Yeah.
If it was 1969 and I'm Brad Pitt, I would just get out of the car and get blown in the middle of Sunset Avenue. Just
people, yeah.
Why not? I mean, it's America. That's what America is built on. Yeah. So,
I think we all just got fucked up about Brad Pitt getting blown right now.
I don't know.
Sorry, it's like who would you be? Yeah, who would we be more excited to see?
There's erection number 2. This one now, like I'm getting one of those weird erections. Like everything's real hard. Like
you're gonna knock this desk over again.
Yeah, it's like dents, like Seal's face. Like I'm getting little dents in it, and it's too hard.
That motherfucker, Seal. That motherfucker. I don't know if he still does, but I know he was watching my wife's Instagram stories for a while.
What? No shit.
Seal.
Oh my lord. How you, sir?
Yeah. I mean, he's got what a voice.
Yeah, she's a fat-titted white girl that I'm sure you stumbled across, and I get it, man, but chill the fuck out. Don't get clubbed, Seal.
Yeah, dude, take it easy.
I always thought we don't. That's not a seal of approval.
I always thought Seal was Jesus Christ. I always thought he was one of those dudes that would like practice super secret martial arts on a mountainside with those abs like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you better know something when your skin's that fucked up.
Yeah, like for sure.
What's that prequel to Alien?
Prometheus.
Rocky Dennis.
Make yourself well, Seal.
Holy shit. Tyler Perry's mask.
This is Blue Ochre.
Instead of Sam Elliott, it's Forrest Whitaker.
Still talking like Sam Elliott though. Oh god damn.
Rocky, you gotta get out of bed.
Yeah, but it's not Max, it's called Max. Max is what's wrong with his head?
You can inject all the salient, poignant thoughts in the world into this podcast, but it's still fucking all three of us.
Yeah, baby,
Could you imagine how much weave it would take to carpet Rocky's head?
His cornrows would look like actual cornrows.
I know y'all ain't driving them motorcycles up on my lawn. Gar, you need to take your ass to the shower.
Did we replace Cher with Lizzo?
Oh god,
they got dirt bikes and
oh god,
little 12 o'clock boys coming around. dude, what the fuck? It's got to get made.
Dude, when we were in Philly, I looked for 12 o'clock boys the entire time. I didn't find any.
They were out there like 1, 2 in the morning, just driving up and down.
Yeah.
When the weather's warm, you see them everywhere, man. It's the fucking worst. I hate it, man. They drive on the fucking sidewalks. It's not like how the fucking Netflix documentary would want you to believe how it's fun and full of whimsy and it's kids blowing off steam. No, they're fucking menaces.
Yeah, that spread like I mean, it was in Baltimore, Philly, and now it's kind of making its way down here too.
I hate that shit so much.
It's awful.
Well, I'm sure it'll go over well down here.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, it's funny. Like they already had the dirt bikes in 4.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Those are all right.
They took our rides.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, Mike. This is a little stinkers related question, but have you ever met anyone that you thought could be a serial killer, like that you? I mean, obviously aren't.
Who's not on this podcast?
Right. That was maybe had the potential to be.
That's a great question, man. Nobody comes to mind. I'm going to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's somebody that I had to come across at some point that probably would ring a bell once I was able to go through the card catalog. I don't know about killers. I'd have to think about that more, John, but nobody comes to my mind right off the top of my head. How about you guys?
Well, kudos to you for not saying Chris Wood just immediately. So,
yeah, I'm gonna murder you.
Who, by the way, is one of the sweetest dudes.
Yeah, he's great. There's one, maybe 2 people, but one kind of fits the mold. We talked about him on here with actually Matt McCusker one time. Is this dude that
the dog jacker?
Yeah, he would go around the neighborhood jerking off dogs. He find a dog and bring it up to somebody and start jerking it off.
Look, check this out.
And
I just thought he was polite.
Well, he was. I mean, he kept the population of stray dogs down, I guess.
Multiple head injuries from falling off of bleachers.
He did a rub and tug in the woods with dogs. He was like, "Oh, you seem tense." But he also I don't know. I don't know I don't think he was autistic. I'm not sure exactly what the dude's deal was, but I remember him falling off the top of like he was falling. You know, like when you fold bleachers in, he was asleep on top of folded up bleachers in a PE class, and I remember him falling from the top of there, flat on his face.
This happened multiple times,
but this one particular time, he woke up, and the look on his face, I was like, "This guy might come back to school and kill us all." Like he was like that final look, like, and that
was it because of the severity of the injury or because of how embarrassed he was?
The embarrassment, yeah, and I can understand that. I mean, it's high school, people are, but
devastating.
And the guy did jerk off dogs. It's just putting those 2 things together. I don't know what the equation is. I don't know the math on this, but jerking off dogs plus embarrassment from falling in front of your classmates, that could be a good serial killer /
put that in the old behavioral science handbook.
Yeah.
Maybe
one guy.
What part of the brain controls whether or not you jerk off dogs?
I don't know.
Is that the occipital lobe?
Cerebus bellum.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't know. But yeah, so everybody, on that note, no, for real, everybody, I feel like selling the dad meat and Lil Stinkers to the people that listen to the show is like, we're preaching to the choir,
right.
But if you don't subscribe to their patrons, do that for sure.
Because you're losing so much rich material. Not being on.
Honestly, those 2 shows, you guys provide so much content for everybody, and it's original, it's fun and inclusive. That's the big thing. It's so inclusive to the fans that you know, a lot of other shows don't do that, and you guys nail it.
You've given a home to the socially homeless in a lot of ways, and I mean that they're not bad people at all. These are folks looking for a place to belong, who are good people, who sometimes are hurt, sometimes are just a little off the vector, and they're.
No, I just feel
like
like
the place.
I just feel like normal dudes. Like,
yeah, there's nothing irregular about them whatsoever. It's just that for whatever reason,
and ladies,
they're looking for a place to
ladies.
belong.
I'm sorry, like I had to.
Let's not get crazy.
Legally, I had to say ladies, but
let's not fucking get nuts here.
Just do what your man says, ladies. And no, but the thing is, like, these are people. There's this whole thing about people. You know, it was cool not to talk about your family, love your kids, or all this shit. That's ridiculous, man. Like, you guys have again created this culture where it's like, just be yourself, be cool, hang out and enjoy it, enjoy yourself, enjoy each other. That's the most important thing right now in this world that we need, because people are so worried about, like, being this or that or whatever. Just fucking just be with your bros, hang out.
The FGR army lets you be the totality of you instead of just being an aspect or a cartoon.
Yeah, status,
and
that's
exactly
stupid.
it, dude. And it's we did something recently that we wanted to do for a while. We had went to a buffet breakfast.
Oh God!
And we asked everybody to dress as wiggers, and it was, I was nervous about it. Like, one, because there was that part of me was just like, nobody's going to show up, and then the other part was just like, all right, I'm a social retard. How am I gonna be here? But it was just so much better than I could have ever imagined. A bunch of people showed up. We had a blast. We acted like fat gay retards, and it was more than anything else. It just showed that, like, okay, this was awesome, and I can't wait to do the next thing. And that's one thing I really want to focus on with, like, Dad Meat stuff is the live shows. They're great, and I love doing them, but I want to focus on creating more things which are experiential based and inclusive for everybody. It's not just the transactional process where you pay to sit in a room and hear us do something for an hour and a half. I want things to be more like that, more experiential, more like, a social gathering where it's like, I promise you, like, there were so many guys that came out to shows last year when we were doing them that just bought a single ticket, weren't coming with everybody. And it's just like, that's their thing. And I am one of those guys. Like, I would go to things by myself, for one reason or another. And it's like, I want people to feel included. I want people to feel like if they come to anything we do, like, there is a place for you. And more than anything else, it's just, if you feel awkward about anything, if you feel apprehensive, if you feel anxious, just know there's going to be a million other retards there feeling the same exact thing, and you're going to fit right the fuck in.
Yeah, when you walk through those doors, you're amongst friends. That's the deal.
That is the truth. Like, you may think that you're there alone, and then you realize, like, oh, I've been talking to this person. Like, there's 10 people I've been talking to for like the last 2 years that I didn't. There's not a face with the name or whatever, but then you're like, you're amongst friends, you're amongst your people, and it's it's a great atmosphere, man.
And I've always said, I'm sorry, I was just gonna say, whenever you decide to fully turn this into a fuck cult, dude, you have laid the groundwork so beautifully.
Fuck
like
cult.
It's gonna be seamless, my man.
Aren't all cults fuck cults though?
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention, like, that's one of the things that I really love the most about getting to do Skankfest the last 2 years was just getting to meet all these people that I've interacted with online, and just getting to see them for the first time, getting to see them for 2 years in a row now, a lot of them, and just being able to just enjoy one another's company, because it's, I truly love getting to talk to people now. Whereas, 2 years ago, I was very anxious. Like, I really had a difficult time with social interactions, but getting to interact with so many people through the podcast has allowed me to really get past a lot of that, to where now I could just enjoy every interaction that I have, and I just look forward to it again. And I'm already fucking counting down the fucking days until the next Skankfest next year.
Well, yeah, that's another. I mean, you guys are rock stars out there, and you go
deservedly show. So especially with, like, the heavy hitters you're amongst, and you come in there with fucking championship belts. I mean, you are main eventers every time. People are always just fucking slobbering to go see those fucking shows. It's the best, man.
They're not slobbering.
Well, a little bit, you know.
It's
Again,
like fucking
It's
seal
fuck
over
cult,
here.
fuck cult
Everybody's
status, dude.
slobbering.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, man.
But
Yeah,
no,
man,
your main
everybody's
eventers
just so fucking cool, man. And it's so fucking fun to be around everybody that comes out to all these things, man. And it's, just, as exciting as it can be for other people, just know that I feel that when I get to meet everybody.
Well, I on the final note again, and I'm gonna pull a graphic up here. I'm gonna edit it in, but on Percs, go to onpercs.com to get it. And again, I can't say enough about how great this book is. It's it's heartwarming, it's funny, it's it's a great read. It's it's quick, I don't know, it's just and
it goes so fast.
Yeah, and it's
so fast.
Honest, which is one of the big things about this thing is it's honest. And one thing about you, that you're honest, you're open to people, that you're very giving to people in that way. And that's a gift to all of us for sure.
100%.
Yeah, that's
thank you.
We all benefit from that.
I like doing it, one, because it just feels like when I led a very self-serving lifestyle for so long. And I think a way to kind of, alleviate a lot of the guilt that I had is to share those experiences. And even though there's a lot of times where the shit's embarrassing when I talk about it, and there's a lot of shame behind it, and there's a lot of regret, at the same time, like, I know that it could potentially alleviate somebody else's, stress and just heaviness that they might feel if they've gone through similar experiences or done similar things. And, that's the purpose. Like, through all this, that's what I want to do. Like, it's whether it's podcasts, books, stand up, whatever I'm doing, I want people to feel good. I want people to feel good, whether it's with my words, with my mouth, with my asshole. I want you to feel better when you're done with me.
Yeah, the asshole.
You're a man who truly leads a life of service, and that's no joke. You're one of our favorite human beings.
For sure has helped me out.
Likewise.
As well. I mean, like, I think I get in these, ruts, man, and I think, like, you can do something else. Find somewhere to be positive, like, and that's like a direct influence from you guys, man, for sure.
Dude, and so it works both ways, man. Like, getting to, there's so many times where, whether it's, an in-person interaction, or somebody will send a message that they'll say, like, something was meaningful to them. Like, I feel good from that. Like I mentioned earlier, like, I'm not a naturally upbeat person. Like, if I don't if I don't engage with people at some point during the day, I get dark pretty quickly, and it goes south very quickly. So, I feel like I need to stay engaged with people, like, and I need to be interacting with people, because, it just, the potential is there for just, to just really slide backwards pretty quickly. So,
well, you're a fantastic example of a person who has taken the power of his own choices and really made his life into what he wants it to be with that. And that's an amazing thing, dude.
Yeah, I
truly, it's
appreciate you
empowering.
saying that, Jason. It's like, I think that, more than anything, it's like, even though it's like, I love being positive, and I love, looking for the good in everything. But more importantly, I think it's the action means more than the intention. And it's like, when you're consistently taking action to just do the shit that you want to do, the shit that you need to do, and just moving yourself forward, even though you might be dragging yourself along, kicking and screaming, then that's where, like, the fulfillment's going to come. Because there's going to be so many days where you're not going to buy, the positivity. And, like, that's fine. It's like, I'm not positive every day, but at the same time, I know what the fuck I have to do, and I know what I'm going to do. Like, and I'm not going to stop. I know I'm going to do shit that I don't want to do just because it benefits me. And I just want to keep stockpiling that more and more in just every phase of my life, and just keep moving forward, and just, above all else, just, just try to be of service, like you mentioned, to other people, because that's what all this is. It's clear to me at this point in my life that everything is about just being of service to other people, to fucking being of service to my fucking cats here. It's like, these motherfuckers have the life, because, I want them to have the life. It's because, everybody's here for a short amount of time, whether it's people or fucking animals or whatever. And it's, if I could do something to lighten the load, whether it's for other people, for fucking my animals or myself, I want to do that.
Well, you nailed it as always. I mean, right on the head. Many hands make light work.
What?
I don't know. That's what, it's a saying I like. I fucked it up.
Take two. Go ahead.
Many a hands make light work.
There you go.
Make God damn it.
Well, speaking of many hands and lightning loads, I just want to give you guys a couple of these before we go.
Yeah.
No, we seriously fucking love you. I have
I love you guys as well.
Efforts during the middle of homicide trials to make sure I responded to you in time on text.
You're the best, dude.
And I'm writing a part in for you on the Tyler Perry Max.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
if you've got like 5 seconds after we go off the air, there's a couple things I want to talk to you about, but I would like to formally invite you to Code One. You pick any case you want. We'll do it on that whenever you're up for it. We're having a lot of fun over there, and I can't think of anyone better to have on as a first real guest than you, because we wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for you, man.
That means a lot to me, and I can't wait to fucking do it, man. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Again, go get on Percs, on percs.com, and
get the fucking coffee mug, get a shirt,
dude, get it all.
It's fucking great. All this stuff is
jersey.
Great
is that going to be for sale as well as it?
Dude, I'm giving them away. If the jersey, it kind of fell into my lap. The jersey is available on fucking Amazon. The jersey on its own, like, it's insane that this fucking thing is just on Amazon. It's $28 on Amazon. The On Percs jersey. It's not On Percs jersey, but it's just a Perk 30 jersey with the Sixers logo, and on the back it says set 30. It was just on Amazon for $28. Nice. But I'm using it as a giveaway. I'm going to have everybody that narrated the audiobook sign it. I bought 3 of them, so I'm going to be giving 3 of them away.
Nice.
If you bought the book on day 1, or if you're not buying the book until the end of next month, everybody's eligible. I'm going to pick a random order number, and whatever random order number gets picked, I'm going to send them to those people.
I got my favorite pair of panties exactly that way.
I don't want to know if you're wearing them, or
dude, if I could get that response out of you, the statement was completely worth it.
John, they're stuffed into his lower lip like a fucking dip.
It's like those fucking tobacco pouches. It's
yeah. You up there about 4 miles.
You got a chaw in? No,
just panties. Start listening to that podcast.
That's a great podcast.
Yeah. Again, thank you so much, Mike. Everybody, you know what to do. Go out and let's get that Chrysler. Let's get it back.
Fuck yeah, dude. I want to see the Wonka tour.
I got my shit repoed a while back, and it's my goal is to sell 5,000 copies of On Percs. I'm over 60% of the way there, and once I hit 5,000, I'm going to treat myself and get myself a Chrysler 300. Even if the thing doesn't fucking run, if I can just park it in my driveway, if I could just sit in that motherfucker and listen to my tunes over again, man, I think that'll go a long way to healing that hole in my heart.
Dude, we will send you 4 gold spray painted cinder blocks to put that motherfucker up on if that's the case.
Spinners on
the cinder blocks.
Dude, can I give a shout out real quick to Sean Gardini and Krishna Wekasur? They just released their new podcast.
Oh, we don't speak their names on here.
We only speak their names on here.
Dude, their podcast that they put out today, it's called The Super Ultimate Audio Visual Experience. They put out episode 1 on their Patreon today. Dude, I took my son to basketball practice right before we recorded tonight. Like, I thought I was going to have to leave the gym because I was laughing so hard at this fucking podcast.
Sweet. And
this is just fucking episode 1 that they're doing. So I cannot imagine how good this fucking show is going to be.
It's already on my list. As soon as I saw your tweet, I just went ahead.
So fucking funny, both of those guys, man.
Yeah, they're outstanding. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure it won't take long for that to catch fire.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get gay for that one real quick.
Yeah. Good call on that. Yeah. Again, Chrysler. I'm sure we missed anything.
Dad meat,
Lil Stinkers, Patreon. Do it. Mike Rainey.
Anything Mike's on. Go back and watch some fucking DelCollo proper.
Yeah,
I'll watch the best wigger in the game.
Oh, baby.
Dude,
you're gonna make me blush.
I'm telling you, dude, go back, watch Philly Court. You need some heat and air done.
I'm feeling my wigger spirit again. It's
Lord.
It never fully left, but like it's coming back.
You about to speak in Deftones.
I think Crack Amico can do that to a person, by the way.
Dude, he's the man.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Mike. You are the best, absolute best.
I love you guys, man. Thank you for having me on, man. I love doing this with you guys. I love doing anything with you guys.
Yeah,
Back
Jason,
at you. Can't wait to see you in person.
I've gone. I love you so much that I've actually gone. I've flown to another state to look at murder scenes with you.
That
That's
is
how much
true.
I love it.
And we're gonna
John,
do
I can't
more
wait to do that with you as well.
yeah. I will anytime. I mean, we can just wherever you want to guys want to go.
Dude,
Look at some
people
murder.
get killed all over this motherfucking country. It's gonna be great.
Whatever state you guys want to go to look at murder.
I did want to go on the anniversary of the Delphi killings. It didn't happen, but I definitely want to do that again soon if you guys are up for it.
I'm down
Yeah.
for sure.
100%.
All right. Well, thanks again, and hang tight.